Hey, 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 hey. Welcome back to another video. I am breaking out of my shell again today. So, I wanted to talk about something that has been in the um, news or social media realm in the last week or so, and that is Mike Tyson. Now, you might say, why do I want to talk about Mike Tyson? I don't necessarily want to talk about Mike Tyson. What I want to talk about is what Mike Tyson said in respects to legacy. So, we all have probably seen the video that went viral where Mike Tyson was being interviewed by this young journalist, and she asked him about what he wanted his legacy to be. Now, when he gave his answer, um, he he pretty much said, "Listen, I'm not focused on legacy. I don't care about legacy. We all gonna die anyway." Now, he was a little harsh with the young lady. I wouldn't say harsh, but I think what he was is he was very direct, right? So he was like, we're all gonna be dust. That's all we are. So I'm gonna focus on legacy. So he's focused on living his life today, and he's not worried about what his legacy is gonna be. And that's interesting coming from someone who was once um, I guess a billionaire, maybe a millionaire. He's a champion fighter. We'll all always remember that, as we do remember the other ones that came before him. But he was really direct and saying, that's not important. And the reason that struck me is because everybody was saying, whoa, Mike, that was brutal. Why, you just dashed that little girl's dreams. But she handled it well. She did handle it well. So they were all talking about what's wrong with him. Why would he say that to this young lady? And why would he say it in such a fashion, you know, which I'm not, I do think he could have softened it a little bit, but I think, that's just Mike Tyson. He's, and you know what happens too when we get older? We don't really have um, filters or a lot of control on what we say. We just pretty much like, what, we don't have long to live. So I ain't sugarcoating nothing. I'm just gonna say what I gotta say. That's what a lot of older people do. And granted, he's not older like he's 80 or 90 or anything, but he is up. He's, I guess, almost 60 now, and he's like, I'm a straight shooter. But the reason I wanted to talk about the legacy portion of it is because I agree with him. Is direct as he was, where was the lie? So you might think, for me, as being an aspiring motivational speaker, um, that would be something that I'm focused on, talking about legacy and teaching people about building a legacy. And that's really kind of far from what I want I want to do it as a speaker. My goal is not to teach about leaving a legacy for your children, your grandchildren, and so on and so forth, because I don't really support that ideology. I think that that's something um, we came up with as Americans who are focused on financial wealth, and not really focused on what's really important, which is morality and spirituality and hard work and taking care of yourselves. So let me just go back to one point. So the reason I say this is because we always hear someone say, I don't want my children to work as hard as I did. I don't want my grandchildren to work as hard as I did. Or I want to leave them, you know, in a good financial state. So, for generations, I want to build something for my family, or my leave a legacy for them to be able to not have to go through the things that I went through. And while we always want our children and our grandchildren to do better than we did in life, we always want to give them the things that they can avoid, the things that you know that you did, and the lessons that you learned from it. We always want to do that as parents and grandparents. Um, but what we're losing here is, do we also implement how important hard work is? So, what's so bad about your children or grandchildren having to work hard? I mean, when we talk about leaving a legacy and leaving something so that they don't have to work as hard, I mean, you think about people like Jay Z and Beyonce. You think about um, Kanye West, and you think about other millionaires or billionaires that have made millions of dollars, and the money that they have. You got the Elon Musk and um, the Jeff Bezos and what's his name, the tech guy, the Microsoft guy. Um, I'm old, so I know his name, and I know you know his name. But you think about all these people, these handful of people who will leave behind things that enough money that will last generations. I mean, you got billions of dollars, right? So you think about names and legacies, Ford Motor Company and different things like that. So you think about these legacies, and they leave things behind for generations, where, yeah, if done right, nobody that comes after them will ever have to work again. Maybe they'll invest the money or start their own companies or whatever. And okay, that's fine. But the majority of us are not going to leave a legacy that will continue for generations. It's just not how life works. And I'm not saying that to be negative, just like I don't think Mike Tyson was saying it to be negative. He was saying it to be realistic. And the reason I say it's realistic, because look, I'm gonna even go towards the scriptures on you with this, because it makes a lot of sense. There's a scripture in Psalms 146:4 that says that when we die, um, our memories become, our memories are gone, and whatever it was, whatever work we've done on the earth will also be forgotten. Ecclesiastes 9:10 says the same, a similar thing. There's no work to be done, so do all the work you can, because at the end of the day, we're going to be gone, and all memory of us will be gone. Um, Matthew I think it's Matthew chapter 6. There's a verse in verse 20, uh 26 or something like that, 20 anyway. um Jesus says store up your treasures in heaven, you know. So we have to focus on what the Bible tells us. As humans, the book of Genesis tells us to dust, from dust we came, to dust we're going to return, you know. So I get what Mike Tyson was saying. All of this hype about legacy and what you want to leave your family and what you want to leave the world and all of those things, he's saying it's not important. Well, and Scripture tells us that that's not something that's going to matter. So that's one reason. So, but I'm going to back off of Scripture and I'm going to just tell you about, why I think um, that principle applies in real life, because we see ourselves trying to leave financial legacies for our family because we don't want them to work hard. Well, hard work is really built what builds character. Um, it builds responsibility. I mean, do you know any kids that their parents worked so hard and gave them everything, and how did they turn out? You know, it's like, oh, I don't have. We got a generation today that feels like they don't have to work for anything they are entitled to because they exist. Or, oh, I didn't ask to be here, and all of these things. So, this legacy thing, you know, is really harmful to me, to start saying, well, you've got to work hard, you've got to leave this legacy. So you're supposed to spend your 60 or 70 years on the earth building something for somebody else to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 decades later. Why? If each person comes in and they live the life they want to live, um, not necessarily being a billionaire, but doing work, doing positive work, doing something that they want to do, contributing to society on their own. That's what's important. I've been through some seminars, and those seminars will give you, leave a legacy for your family. You need to do, they're all on stage, and, you hear these motivational speakers talk about legacy and what you want. Listen, I'm not that speaker. What I want to do is encourage you to live your life, because this is your 60, 70, 80 years, if you're fortunate to be on this earth that long. This is it's yours. And so while yeah, you have children, and yes, they have children, once you give them life, once you teach them um, responsibility and how to be a responsible member, and a productive member and a positive member of society, then you've done your job. You know. Now, if I die and there's something in the bank left, and or I've got a company established that they can either continue on or dissolve and take the money or whatever, then fine, great. But if I die and I don't have anything, I mean, I leave enough for them to bury me with, I've done my job. Listen, every family, every person, every child has a responsibility to build their own lives the way that they want. And then we are not responsible for providing for generations of people. In my opinion, I think we're more responsible for having um, contributed to society by the people we produce on this earth, by the people we put on this earth, the people we bring to life. When we bring a child to life, we need to teach them morals and standards and responsibility and hard work and ethics. That's what we need to teach them. We don't need to teach them, hey, I'm building this legacy for you, this financial legacy for you, so that you don't have to work as hard as I did. Why? Hard work. I'm gonna tell you, I was raised on welfare, so needless to say, there wasn't anything for me to really look forward to as far as being left anything. My mom's still here, and I'm grateful for that. But by us being raised on welfare, I had to get out. I started working when I got pregnant with my son. I was 19, and I started out on welfare. But then I decided, listen, I don't want that life for myself, and I don't want that life for my children. So I went to work. You know, it I went to work in the customer service field, and I had good jobs. I went and I bought cars for myself. I learned how to buy cars. I bought homes. I did things that my mother did not do, and I learned to appreciate hard work. You know, whereas I had I had cousins where my uncle, he came and he started his company and he worked hard, and he moved out into suburbia, and he gave his family, he gave his kids, that life, swimming pools and cars and what have you, and they didn't turn out so well. I'm just going to say that. They went through struggles, and unfortunately, they didn't appreciate what they had. And I have cousins, and I have other cousins that do have, family businesses that are doing well. But I think that's because they focused on putting um, their efforts towards making them good people, morally and ethically and responsible, and teaching them and training them to work hard. And so leaving legacies, I think in my opinion, I think that's a bunch of hype. I think um, I think that's unnecessary pressure that we try to put on ourselves to go above and beyond. Me, what I want to do, the reason I'm out here is, yeah, I want to inspire people to live their lives according on their terms and and their goals, and not what somebody else sees for them, or what they think, or what society thinks you should be doing. So that's my message. When I go out there and talk to people, it's not about getting wealthy. It's about getting happy. It's about being focused. It's about living the best life you can live, because these are your 60, 70, 80 years that you have. So so Mike Tyson might have been a little harsh, I in his message, but I agree with his message. I think he was right in saying it doesn't matter. I mean, sure, when I pass away, my children are likely going to be sad. They're going to mourn. They're going to remember me for as long as they live. And my grandchildren, I have, three right now, they'll probably remember me. But when it gets down to the great, 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 and all that, they're not going to know who I am. And it's not going to be important that they know who I am. It's, well, they don't leave you money. So what is it that, what's to remember about, or to know or learn about your ancestors, except for where you come from? I mean, but so that's just my thought. When we're gone, we're gone. I'm not going to be able to know whether or not people remember me and all of those things. And you know like Mike Tyson said, we're dust. We are dust. But if you have something that you want to do with your life now, um, maybe you want it more than money. You want to enjoy your family, enjoy your grandchildren, enjoy your children, enjoy your parents. You want to spend time, live your life that way. That's the way you want to That's the legacy you want to leave. Are my grandkids going to remember me for taking them on trips, spending time with them, doing the little things with them? Um, that's what's important is time, because time is something you can never get back, right? That's that's a given. Each day come and each day go, and we can't live it over. And so when you're gone, you're gone. Yeah, I might be able to leave a little something, maybe a little college fund, maybe a little something for them. But my goal is to leave a legacy of love and happiness, and to live a life of love and happiness. So that's why I said, hey, Mike Tyson for the win on that one. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about leaving a legacy, and about what Mike Tyson said, why you agree or disagree with him. All right, talk to you soon.